Mr. Satyajit Singh Sethi. Thank you for taking your time to be on the channel. A warm welcome to the channel.
Thank you, Jovi. Thanks very much, and really appreciate the opportunity you've given me. Thanks very much.
Thanks once again, Satyajit. So, Satyajit, for the benefit of our viewers, may I please request you to give a little background about yourself, Satyajit?
Of course, I am a postgraduate diploma business management from Australia, and then obviously graduation I did at the Osmania University in Hyderabad. I am born and I will die as an army brat. Belong to the Fauji family. I was very fortunate to join, American Express in 1993, and since then I've stayed in American Express till last year when I hung my boots. I have been fortunate to be able to work in different verticals of American Express. So from call centers to membership services to risk management to commercial card, and then handling some part of international market when I was for 2 years in global network services, where we have our partner banks, who we kind of support sitting in India, and I was handling a couple of markets like Saudi Arabia and Turkey, Belgium, Switzerland. Last stint which I did in American Express from 2000 late 18 was to be the head of Punjab for American Express before I moved to the hills. And I've handled both individual contributor and leadership positions as well. Thanks, Jovi.
Amazing, Satyajit, amazing. That's truly rich. So, Satyajit, what just caught my attention was you said you joined in 1993 and you stayed there right till the end. So that was a solid 2+ decades with American Express. So, I'm wondering, should I ask how or should I ask why? Why did you stay in one organization for that long? How come?
Jovi, actually it's 29 years and I was going to complete 30 years. But primarily why I stayed with American Express for nearly 30 years was because of the values of the organization, because of the depth and character of the organization. It was a solid employee-friendly. It is a solid profile, employee-friendly company. The kind of respect and love I have been blessed with, while being in the blue box, it was definitely, and you'll understand this line when I say it was definitely home away from home for me. So I have been truly blessed to be headed by or worked for lovely leaders. I mean, you were the first boss actually in American Express and in my professional career. So from you to Banner, Manish Banerjee, from Sunil, and in the last few years of American Express, with amazing leader like Manish Kapoor, who heads the commercial card business now, and Firdaus Moghul, Manoj Adlakha, who has been a fantastic leader, and I served under a very lovely lady and a great leader called Larissa Dhawan. You of course know her. Sanjay Rishi, again a great leader. So these are few reasons, and not the main reasons for me to not leave this organization. It not only gave me a professional growth, but it certainly helped me in my personal life as well. And as we go on, I'll share some examples. When we talk, that how the organization kind of aligned to my personal goals as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. So these are some of the reasons. These are the reasons why I chose not to leave American Express and work for American Express 29.
Satyajit, on your chest, you very proudly wear the blue box, the American Express logo, and I can see it and I can feel it as you're speaking. But Satyajit, you've placed so much of importance, and it comes through on the values of an organization. What would you tell some of the the new joinees, the millennial, whichever way you want to address them, that segment which has not yet experienced it fully, you were just getting into an organization, are the values of a company really that important?
Absolutely. Definitely, values of the organization are very important and very critical. Um, Also, prime reason would be to win the confidence and the trust of an employee. What happens is, Joby, that why didn't I leave it? Because I could close my eyes and give my entire career to this organization. So because and why did I trust this organization? For my leadership, you know, for my colleagues, and for the values of the organization. There's no harm in trying to join different companies in your during your career since your career. But the only thing I say, and I used to always tell and share with my people who reported into me, or who are my colleagues, subordinates, that your aspirations and skills have to be aligned. What I see today is the aspirations are very high, but skills are still to be, and most of the millennials are working towards it. So I'm very happy about it. They're very confident, they're very hardworking, but it's very critical for your aspirations and your skills to be aligned. You can't say that I want to become a higher management person, but I don't have ABC skills or educational background. So it's very important that, yes, I would say that values and character and depth and integrity of an organization is very critical.
So Satyajit, American Express would have been a very good learning ground with you moving to different departments. So you would have learned a lot of different aspects of the business. So you also benefited from the organization in that way because you stayed. Because you stayed. If you had come, one of those hit and runs, or whichever term, you would have been lesser for knowledge. Is that possible? Would that have happened?
Absolutely, Joby. Because I'll tell you, for example, moving into different aspects, I was able to enrich myself with knowledge about cards dynamics. And cards would mean from a card issuer to an organization which also has its own merchants, and also having your own risk management vertical, also having different other, for example, digital marketing, for field sales marketing. I have done sales as well. Last from 2005 onwards, I have done sales. So I have done operations, I have done sales. So when I took over Punjab as the head, there were 4 to 5 verticals which were there. Earlier, I was handling only one. I was part of only one vertical, but here I had 4 to 5 verticals. So the entire knowledge, I would say, like a general manager kind of approach, or so you have a general manager view of different all the verticals. So as a organization, I was able to be part of the teams and add value to the organization. So that's how it helped me.
Lovely. And Satyajit, you also mentioned, the values actually dovetailing into your personal life. In the sense, why I bring that up is, very keen to hear your views. Is there could be companies that have a mission and values, etc., pasted, on the walls. It may not translate to the ground or beyond the office walls. What do you have to say on that, Satyajit? What's been your experience?
Well, I would say that the organization I worked for not only looked at doing business, but it also looked at empowering us. Okay, so I mean, I will give you an example. In 2006, I was sent by the organization to IIM Calcutta, and it was completely sponsored by the organization, right? It not only made me work, it also made me get educated. If you see from socially, while it contributes economically, and it has thousands and thousands of jobs which are being given to people here. It also socially, and you are aware that philanthropic initiatives which we used to do, and we still do. I mean, from you are aware of it, so many. So it as a holistically, if you see the organization, it contributed to lot many things, than just kind of running a business.
So Satyajit, you were at a time in American Express when India was bursting from all sides in hyper growth mode, multiple foreign companies, banks, financial institutions, and industries like the outsourcing all kicking in. And why do I mention that? Because they were hungry for talent. There were very few multinationals at that time in the country. And so people with your experience, Satyajit, they were willing to buy them out because you knew the Indian environment. You knew how international companies operate. So working with international markets, you understood very well. So why didn't you leave? There would have been money on the table, Satyajit. I'm sure you were given offers, right? So what made you stay? What is that, Satyajit? Why didn't you move?
So, excuse me, a lovely question, and it brought me many memories and opportunities which I was offered by 2 to 3 large MNCs and, domestic startups. But, and I'll share with you as a joke, because one of the organizations did tell me that they have a letter which already is there with my name. It's just that the date has to be put, so, so, but yeah, Joby, I
I
think
would
all
believe
the,
that. I would believe that joke.
yes,
I know it has to be true. You've cracked a joke.
yeah.
I know it is true. Yeah.
But only thing is that all the things which I just mentioned just before, in a minute back, about the organization, I didn't see any reason, any whatsoever reason for me to leave this organization, and move out. So I can answer in that, one line.
Yeah. So Satyajit, I think the values all came through. It all came through and blue blocks right from the beginning, right to the end. So Satyajit, any advice as to the new joinees as they, get joining the organization? Anything that you wish to tell them? Those who may be listening, uh, joining maybe American Express or another organization. What would you have to tell them that the innings you've played, you could have jumped, but you stayed. You had your reasons, but what would you like to tell the new workforce that is getting ready to come in and has come in and has joined? Satyajit, anything for them?
Yeah, I think only two, 3 things. One is that whatever you do in life, professionally or personally, you got to have good intentions for it. you know and if you have good intentions, there's a saying that the universe conspires to make it happen. So firstly, have good intentions for the organization you work for. You have to add value to the organization. You have to ensure that you are part of the growth of the organization. And like I said earlier, that you have to be very clear what are your aspirations and what are the skill set and education you have. you know so and if you don't have the skills, or if you don't have, now for example, somebody used to tell me that you could have gone that high, but you didn't go. Why? For example, realistically, I'm not a chartered accountant. I've done my MBA from Australia, but I have not done MBA from a category school. So I am aware what my skills or whatever my background in education is, right? So I have always been realistic towards it. So it's very critical, like I'm saying, that today's generation needs to understand and have aligned goals as far as their professional life. Secondly, perseverance and patience. You can't be walking up to your bosses in 6 months or 1 year and asking for a promotion. You can't be jumping jobs every 1.5 years or 1 year. As a hiring manager, I won't see it very positive. So stick to the organization, add value to the organization, trust the organization, give it some time, and things will fall in place. So that's a few things which I would like to tell the youngsters of today.
So Satyajit, you've had a great innings with American Express, domestic market, multiple verticals, the international market. So now, Satyajit, you've hung up your boots, you're relaxing, retired life.
Not exactly. I mean, as you're aware, I moved to the mountains about 3 years back, and I used to do, up and down to Chandigarh where my office was. So, and then what I decided to do was that I didn't want to sit idle. I didn't, with so much of knowledge and so much of experience. Last year, I invested in another small house here, and I am now working towards converting it into a small boutique B&B. So from a salaried man to wearing a hat of an entrepreneur. The reason I'm trying to do this endeavor is that I'm a people's person. I like to meet people. So this way, I will be able to be in touch with all my colleagues, ex-colleagues, and friends, and everyone. And secondly, I want to add value to my surroundings here, to the people of the hills here. So that will give me an opportunity to create some jobs and then, and contribute in some way or the other. I think, Joby, sometimes I feel that how come this thing is working out? And like I said earlier, my aspirations to be, where to be and when to be and how to be kind of worked out for me. And I have huge gratitude for my organization because that supported me not only in my professional growth but in my personal growth as well. So the organization also taught me that you can't be running around all the time. So you have to figure out what you want, where you want to be, and in what time, and then accordingly work towards it. And I've been able to do it, and thanks to my organization, everything works out. Like I said, everything works out. It's just that you need to have good intentions, and you need to be true to yourself and your organization. So that's what I have to say.
Satyajit, I wish you all the best in your next phase as you become an entrepreneur now. May it multiply, and I'm sure you'll add so much more value. Satyajit, once again, thank you so much for coming on the channel and sharing your views.
Thank you, Joby, sir. Thanks very much.